Hi my loves, and welcome to your cosmic weather report for the week ahead. We have a gorgeous week this week that begins on 11/11. So Monday is the 11th of November, and this energy, this day, symbolises a fresh start, wiping the slate clean, setting new intentions. It's a day of manifestation and spiritual awakening and opening yourself to your higher self, to receiving insights and wisdom and guidance. It's about having faith in your journey and trust in yourself. And to help us with that, on the same day, Venus moves into Capricorn. This is just, it's just beautiful, beautiful energy. Venus moving into Capricorn brings a real sense of self-respect. And Venus in Capricorn is about long-term commitments. So that might be long-term commitments in relationship, long-term commitments to goals and desires. But what I really want you to think about and to use this energy for, especially this 11/11 energy, is a commitment to yourself. How are you going to commit to yourself and what it is you want and what it is that you need? And this is really setting us up for the energy that comes later on in the week by bringing you into, grounding you into a deep sense of value in yourself, self-respect, self-knowing, self-understanding, and just that deep commitment to yourself. And we talked a lot in the retreats I ran at the weekend about how you can never really make change from a place of not feeling like you're enough. So when you try and shame yourself into making change, or you're trying to make change in your life from a place of feeling like you're not good enough, you're not worthy, there's something about you that needs fixing, and you're saying to yourself, like, you're so rubbish, you need to change this and this and this, it's never really going to stick or land. What we need to be doing if we want to make long-term commitments to things and make lasting change is to do it from a place of love. Because I love myself, I'm going to change this thing in my life that isn't working for me anymore. Because I love myself, I'm going to work on changing this situation in my life where I don't feel like I'm being valued. Because I love myself, I'm going to do better in this area of my life because I know that I deserve more than this. And so when we make changes from a place of real self-respect and commitment to yourself, I am now committing to me, to what I want, to what I need, to what I desire. And because of that, because I love myself, this is what I'm going to do. And so especially on this energy of 11/11, this fresh start energy, this let's set intentions for our soul goals, this energy is just so profound for starting off a new week of deep commitment to yourself. It also, Venus in Capricorn, helps us to really face problems in our lives, especially in relationships. So if you've been having relationship problems or problems with any relationship in your life, that might be relationship to watching too much Netflix or being on Instagram too much, or any kind of relationships, it helps us to face those problems that we have. And also in relationship to self, where are you not in right relationship to yourself? Where are you being mean to yourself or not supporting yourself or not trusting yourself? So this energy is really going to help us to face those problems that we have. And it might even be your relationship with the universe and really being in trust with what's happening in your life. But facing any problems is going to be a really big energy on this day, because the next day, it's going to lead us so beautifully into the next day. On Tuesday, we get Mercury square Saturn. Now, as Mercury square Saturn, this brings a really big opportunity for growth. It brings an opportunity to face problems, to look at where things haven't been working, where things feel like they're kind of a little bit icky, where there isn't alignment, where you're not in congruence with certain things. And it really helps us to begin to face those things and look at them and see them. Now, because of this, sometimes when we get Mercury square Saturn, we can also get a little bit of a doom and gloom energy, which again is going to be really beautiful, because you've on Monday maybe started to look at, well, I want to commit to myself. What do I want? What are my goals? Where am I going? How am I going to use this 11/11 energy to be in touch with my soul? On Tuesday, then you might start to notice your mindset. You might start to notice your mindset around making changes, around going towards what you want, and that your mindset is normally, this could never work for me, I could never make this happen, see, things always go wrong. And if that's your mindset, if that's the narrative that's running in there all the time, that's all you're ever going to see. You're always going to face problems and obstacles and things not working out. So it's a really beautiful day to look at your worries and your doubts and your mind around that commitment to self, and knowing you can make things happen if you really commit to yourself, and changing those thought processes around to thought processes that help you to have trust in yourself and have faith in your journey, and help you to know that because I love myself, I can do these things and make these changes. And this is all setting us up beautifully for the main event this week, which is the Taurus full moon on Friday. And this full moon is life-changing in so many ways. One of the first things about this full moon is that this is the last moon, full moon, new moon, last moon we have while Pluto is still in Capricorn. And this full moon is working with Pluto in Capricorn, because just 4 days after this full moon, on the 19th of November, Pluto moves into Aquarius, taking us into that whole new world, that whole new energy. And so this full moon is really illuminating the way. It's the preparation point for this big shift that we're moving into. So this full moon is going to help you to shift your frequency, to anchor you into a new state of being, to awaken to parts of yourself that have been dormant, to awaken to new gifts, awaken to new energy. And most of all, it's going to show you where change is needed. Now, Taurus is very resistant to change. Taurus is fixed earth. Taurus doesn't like change. But this full moon is almost exact conjunct Uranus. So change is coming, whether we like it or not. This moon is going to shake you awake. So one of the first things that this full moon is going to show you is where you've been resisting change, where you've known for a while, where your heart and your soul have been like calling you for a little while, but because you've been afraid or unsure, or it's felt a little bit uncertain and unknown, you've been resisting it and avoiding it and like not wanting to make those changes that you just know deep down you need to make to be who you came here to be, to usher in the new world and play your part in where the world goes next. And so change is inevitable at this moon. But what this moon is going to help you to do is to make that change from being anchored into a very deep sense of self. And so remember, we started that work on Monday as Venus in Capricorn asks you to begin to really commit to yourself. The Taurus full moon now helps you to find an inner authority, an inner wisdom, an inner knowing, an inner truth, and to begin to make changes from this place. So no longer waiting for anything or anyone in the outside world to change. Well, if they just did that, or if this just happened, or we're no longer looking outside. This Taurus full moon is going to help you to root into you and to know that everything you need is already within you. It always was. And this change begins here. And this change begins with you. This change begins with, because I love myself and I value myself and I know what I'm worthy of, I'm going to. Because I know my power, my truth, my wisdom, my magic, and the part I came here to play, I'm going to. And so it's a change that comes from the depths of you, from the soul of you, that will just allow everything that's been waiting for you to come through. The only thing I will say is please work with these changes, because Uranus is that planet of shock and disruption and chaos. And so if you're not doing what you need to do, Uranus will likely come in and do it for you. But what's extra magical about this moon, I mean, there's so many things that are magical about this moon. There's a cradle at this moon and so much big energy. This moon is working with Pluto. But this moon, on the day of this moon, Saturn also stations direct. So Saturn stationing direct on the day of this moon is going to help us to establish again those long-term foundations, but a spiritual foundation. A foundation of really knowing who you, right, remembering who you are on a deep soul level, and finding that inner authority to know that you are the creator of your own reality. The outer world is a direct reflection of your inner world. And when we do the work here, when we anchor into being a soul, having a human experience, and we remember who we are, that's when life, especially when Pluto shifts into Aquarius, is going to get very, very interesting and exciting and magical and life-changing. And we've all got a part to play in that. So this full moon is that preparation point. Look at where you've been resisting the change and start to make change by being anchored in it. You get to make the changes in your life without waiting for anyone else, because you love yourself and value yourself and know your worth and know who you are. And then this is all going to be wrapped up really beautifully, like a little bow at the end of it, where on Sunday we get the sun opposite Uranus. The sun opposite Uranus is embrace your authentic self. Be who you are, all of who you are. Let go of any false security, holding on to things out of a false sense of security, trying to grip and hold. Just let it all go. Anything that doesn't align with the truth of who you are and what you want for yourself and your life and what you know yourself to be truly worthy of, let it go. Because it's only in the letting go of those things that you will create the space for those things truly in alignment with you to come in. This is a day for following your inner sense of self, following your deepest intuition and inner knowing, even if it makes no sense, especially if it makes no sense to anybody else. It's dance like no one's watching energy. It's be fully and completely who you are energy. It's anchor into what you desire energy of this is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I came here to do. This is who I came here to be. And just embracing all of you, knowing all of you, trusting all of you, following all of you, and committing to you. So this whole week, the energy of this whole week, I want you to have a deep devotional commitment to yourself. To in every moment check in with yourself. Does this feel good for me? Does this feel as though it's giving me what I need? Does it feel like there's value here? I'm being valued here. I'm being met here. I'm being fully seen here. Can I be all of myself here? I want to commit to just showing up as all of me and not having to be anywhere where I have to dim and hide or be questioned or where I have to try to justify myself. I want you to respect yourself and know yourself and love yourself so fiercely and make that deep devotional commitment to you. So we just have a gorgeous week that's really going to set those deep roots into what we're going to create next as we get this big shift of Pluto and Aquarius energy that we'll talk about next week. I'm sending you so much love. Commit to you, and I'll be back next week.